All right, so today I'm gonna run through lead generation as a whole. I'll try to keep it short in each section. There are a lot of links and useful stuff in the school platform in the lead generation module, so you can refer back to that if you need the links to book calls for online lead gen or any of the letter templates, anything like that we're going through today. Just get more people in. But biggest takeaway from today I want you guys to have is to make sure you have a plan moving forward to consistently generate leads. So you don't have to use any specific thing we go over today, but make sure you have a plan of, 2 or 3 of these that'll ensure that you have new people coming in to your world, to your database throughout the year, because as we'll go through, a lot of these leads will take time to yeah, will take time to convert. All right, so obviously there's tons of ways to generate leads. We've talked about these a lot of the time in Monday morning meetings and other situations. Some ways are easier to pick up buyers or sellers that are ready to go now. And there's obviously some ways that are good for stacking your CRM for the next 9, 12, 18 months. So today we're gonna go through online lead generation, go through some more print material, old school stuff, so mailers, door knockers, letters, and then wrap up with community focus as well, which is something we should all be doing. So online lead generation, I know I've had a lot of questions on it. The conversion rate overall in online lead generation is about 1 to 2%. So if you generate 100 leads, you can expect to close 1 transaction from that. If you're really good on the phone, 2. If you follow up, however, with your database over the years, you will get that percentage up closer to 10. It just takes a very long time, and most agents can't consistently follow up for 2 to 3 years on their database. Now, the tools we have now, there is no excuse not to, but most agents don't set it up. So if you set up that database properly with online lead generation, if you look out 18, 24, even 36 months, you could expect to close 10% of those leads. If you do that, you are going to like 20x your spend on those for sure. It just takes that time, and you have to give it time, and you have to give the follow-up campaigns time. And you have to make sure you stay on the people that raise their hand and say they're, ready to buy, because you will miss out. Like 90% of them will go buy with somebody else anyway, but you're just focusing on the 10. And I think that's another problem. A lot of agents are worried about, calling every single one or staying on top of every single one. If you can close a couple percent of your online leads, then you're doing well. So keep that in mind too. Videos and specific listings are a little easier to drive traffic to yourself that's interested in a product that you have or the team has, or someone at Real Broker has, whatever you're promoting. You can also direct videos to your target market as well. So on Google, YouTube, any of the Google platforms, you can target people down to the postal code. So video is a really good way to get people to come into your world that are interested in that house, let's say, or that property. And then using market targeting, you can increase your chance of getting people that want to buy or sell in the target market you're focused on. As an agent, you cannot focus on the entire city. That's why we're very Cochrane heavy right now. But overall, and like I've always tried to have like a pretty spread out team, because it's good to have agents in Airdrie, agents in Cochrane, agents in Okotoks, agents in the Northwest, Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, to like really be able to capture a lot more buyers and sellers. A lot of agents don't understand like how little percentage you need of a target market to be successful. So if you really focus on your area for 12 to 18 months, there's no reason why you can't capture like 15% of market share in a neighborhood over that 18 months. I've seen as high as 20 or 30% captured in 18 months. And like you could be making 300 or 400 grand in your neighborhood alone if you do that every single year. So a lot of agents that have been in those neighborhoods get lazy and they're like, oh, I got bus benches and ads running and whatever. So that's where like newer agents or newer agents to a certain area can actually take over quite quickly. It's literally like 1 to 1.5 years. If you do all the right things, you can capture 10 to 20% of market share and you could be rolling in your neighborhood. I mean, Bill's seen that firsthand just by talking to people in Edgemont lately and then getting passed around and then talking to other people and everything. So like your focus is key. And I think that's something I wish I did more is, everybody's so worried about getting business at first that you're like, yeah, I'm driving an hour and a half this way. I'm going this way. But like your focus for generating leads should be in one area that you can actually manage. Could be a couple of neighborhoods if they're smaller. But if you have a large neighborhood like Sunset, for example, in Cochrane, Crystal and Joel could literally just focus on Sunset and they would make a ton of money in a couple of years just in their neighborhood. It's so big. There's so many transactions to be had. And the two of them live in that neighborhood, they could really like divide and conquer and should be able to reach everybody, whether that's online or like print or door to door or neighborhood stuff. Let's just switch screen here, Brad. So for online lead gen, few options. So those of you that are with Lofty already, Lofty will generate leads for you if you want. You can also book a meeting with them through the platform, which is super easy. You can also just start generating leads to the platform. So one way to do it, I'll just show you really quick. If you're not on Lofty already, the link to sign up for Lofty, you can find in the resin dashboard. And it is, correct me if I'm wrong, $40 a month. I think Four Sauce is on that plan right now.
Yeah, it's like
50.
40 to start. It's that 40 is the intro fee and then it ups.
Okay. So in here, if you go to marketing, oh, sorry, marketplace. In Lofty Marketplace, you're going to see all different options for you. So you can do Lofty seller ads, Google PPC campaigns, Google local service ads, blind PPC, Facebook dynamic ads. You see they have tons of options here for you. I would focus on PPC. Your Google ads are the most targeted. They also are the most expensive overall compared to like Facebook and stuff, but they will generate you better leads in the long term on Google. So I would focus on that. Our Google presence, if you use BRIX keywords, is pretty good. Like we have 280 something reviews now, 5-star rated on there. So using those keywords should help too, get you traffic. I always recommend if you can afford to run seller ads to run them because getting listings is key, but buyer ads are a little cheaper. So just keeping that in mind. They have different plans depending on, and they'll like recommend different things depending on how large or small your target area is. So you can actually pre-price stuff out here. And you can put your target area and it'll tell you what your spend should be. On Google PPC, you're probably looking at spending 800 a month to start, give or take 800 to 1,000. But 800 should be good overall just to get started. So if you get spending 800 a month, you could be getting anywhere from 40 to 60 leads a month, technically. You could get a little bit more, depends on the target area. I've seen as much as like 100 come across in a month, but I'd say 40 to 60 is kind of your target at that spend. So again, it's gonna take a couple months potentially to pick up some people that are, you might actually convert. That being said, you can't expect to have any good leads for at least 3 months running any single campaign. So I do see a lot of agents get into online lead gen, they quit after like 3 months. It's not gonna do. So if you're gonna go the online lead gen route, decide that, hey, I'm gonna spend 12 grand for the next 12 months. And you will see good return on that investment as long as you do the steps and follow up and convert.
Yeah,
But in theory, yeah, go ahead.
quick question. Sorry, Andrew, and I don't know the platform, but is there an auto response to those when someone hits your site, or is it you have to respond to those? Because if you have to respond to those, from what I understand, it has to be pretty quick.
No, yeah, you can set up all the AI, all the auto background stuff, everything in your CRM. So you're gonna want to set up a follow-up campaign. So like say I'm focusing on this area and acreages, maybe tune your follow-up campaign to that. You're gonna want to automatically let them set up their own search. So they're in your database, looking at listings, and you're gonna want to hit them every single day at the start. And then you're gonna want to bleed that out a little bit longer after that. Text and email, and try not to be pestering, but you do need to hit them quite a bit. You can't really follow up too much if the lead's hot, like they will eventually pick up the phone. But you have to work the call in there too. Time to call is key, like you mentioned, no matter what. So like if you see a lead come up and you are in a situation where you can pick up the phone and call them, you should. It will increase your conversion big time. But make sure you have everything set up, because you can't always pick up the phone and call within 3 minutes, like they always say. Gotta call them in 3.5 minutes. That's not life. So set up the tools in the background. I have other lessons on that too, and I can help you as well. I've done lots of campaigns. I still do right now. And then the nice part is, say you do spend a year and generate, 1,000 leads. Now you have a good database to farm. So even if you're like, you know what, I've been doing open houses and doing all this community stuff, and I have enough business and I don't really want to keep bringing in leads, at least you have that 1,000-person database now, and you can farm that with deal of the week and reach out to people and invite them to things and invite them to community events. So that's why I like Google, because you can try to focus at least your leads a little bit. It won't be perfect, but you want to capture the leads that you want to work later. You don't want a bunch of people in a place that you're not even going to work. It's not going to help you. You can refer them out, I guess, but you're going to be less motivated to work those leads if they're not ones you wanted in the first place. In school as well, I also have the link for community.ca, book a call with them. They're $65 a month for the CRM, and they got really good lead gen too. They will use any platform you want. They can curate like a lead gen strategy for you. So they are a good one. You could be a little bit cheaper, probably get something going for like $650 a month with them as far as ad spend. But you decide the ad spend with them. The CRM, just like the Lofty one, is about the same price. You're spending like 65 a month for the CRM, and then you decide your ad spend, but they will drive everything in your CRM, and they can help you set up all the responses and everything too. They have really good AI creators for emails. So when you can do auto response on their AI, and it'll send out like a personalized email to that person. So it's not just a scripted email all the time. So really good AI tools, about the same price with CRM, and you can decide what platforms you want to be on. They'll obviously recommend Google most of the time too, like I just did, but they will do your Meta stuff. They can do a combination of both. The nice part with Meta is once you do have that database, you can do retarget ads for very cheap. So if you have 1,000-person database, you can put that into Facebook business, do a retarget. It's like couple cents per person, and basically those 1,000 people start seeing you all the time when they're on Facebook and Instagram and everything. So it's just retargeting your existing database. So that's something that is still really powerful for, and is really affordable. So again, like if you build a database and you're like, okay, I'm good, at least you can keep farming that database properly with all these other tools. So keep that in mind too. Retargets are pretty easy to do on your own too. But yeah, these guys will do whatever you need as well. So I recommend interviewing multiple people. The other one I have in school is realestateleads.ca. Also really good. I think they start at 800 or 900 a month for the plan. I was with them a few years ago. We were spending I was splitting it with another agent. We're spending 1,500 a month total, 750 each, and we're getting 50 to 75 leads each per month. And after like 4 or 5 months, we're easily closing like 1 to 2 deals a month each just from that. So another really good one too, links in school for that one as well. So check them all out. Realestateleads.ca doesn't have the best CRM though. It's super basic. They do have like canned responses and some AI stuff. It's been getting better. But if you don't have a good CRM, I mean, Loftier Communities is probably a better way to go. Questions on those? Yeah.
I got a question.
Yep.
How many people in this team are using and what are they using?
Joel's been doing some ads if you're here, Joel.
Yeah, I use Google Ads. I've been running that for like 3 months. Um,
What's your spend right now?
it's relative, like the one I have set up, like it's relative, like it's the cost per click one. So it does depend how much people are clicking on the links and stuff like that. But I've only been putting in there like $200 a month, pretty much. So I spent like 600 in the past like 3 months, and it definitely does vary. Like some weeks I get, you know, like a sign up every single day and seller stuff too, because I kind of drive it lots to my website, and then other weeks, like yeah, it won't get anything. So just depends the week a little bit. And then you do work, like I've worked pretty closely with the Google support who've helped me work out a lot of back end stuff as well. So I spent quite a bit of time there to try and maximize the performance for all the Google ads and things like that. So it's the first time I've ran ads and things like that. So I was trying to find something, trying to see what I could do that was cost effective and what the results would look like. So I've only been doing it 3 months and I don't mind the results so far. Obviously, some of the leads that sign up are junk, like bad emails, bad phone numbers, like they're nothing. And other ones, yeah, like having conversations with them and trying to move the needle a little bit, but 100% with online leads, they take time. So, one of the other big reasons I did run it is because when I set it up, they had a promotion for like spend a certain amount and they would give me a certain amount of ad credits back. So I can essentially run Google Ads for like 6 to 8 months for probably only about like $700, and then they're gonna give me like another $700 in ad spend. So I'm only paying, like I say, that $700, and then they'll give me the 700 and I can run it for, like I say, anywhere for, I'm thinking at least 6 months. So for that cost, I was like, I may as well try it and just see what happens and kind of go from there.
The Google like support is really good, like Joel said, and yeah, they always have promotions. Like right now, it is 700, I think said. That's what I saw too. So yeah, that's the way you go. You can generate your own. You're not paying any rider on top. If you go through Lofty, you are paying them a little bit of money to get stuff set up. It's not crazy. But no matter what, like if you get 1,000 leads, it's probably gonna cost you about 10 grand. On 1,000 leads, even at the lowest percentage, you should be closing 10 deals. It's 100 grand. So you're 10x in on this stuff. You have to give it the time. Because it will be up and down. And if you're not doing cost per click and you're running other ads, as your ad spend drains out for the month, you'll get less on the back end too. So if like there's an ebb and flow of like how many leads are coming in, and then you got to be working them. So I don't recommend going crazy on lead spend unless you're partnering up with people, which is always a good idea too. But you can overwhelm yourself and you're not following up and then you're screwed anyway. So don't just blow money on online leads. It's like the least closing percentage of any lead generation you do. So just like remember, you got to be set up, you got to be willing to make the calls, and you got to be willing to keep like revamping ads and figuring all that out, whether you're using a partner or not. And you got to give it time. The other thing that goes along with that though is online presence in general. So if you're doing a bunch of ads and then you're never posting on social media, or you're not present, like a bunch of that will go hand in hand because people search for you and they find you in other things. It really closes that loop on giving you trust, because people are clicking on real estate stuff all the time. So like be present in your community on social media or the community you're farming. That way, if people are like, oh, I want to look for a house in Cochrane, and then Joel's ad pops up, and then Joel's Instagram post about Cochrane pops up, and then this pops up, like it really helps close that loop and it will help you close leads faster. So like online lead gen really goes along with online presence in general too. So make sure you're putting the time in to boost your online presence, and in turn, you will get cheaper ad spend. Print materials. So mailers, again, like actual reading percentage of a mailer is probably like 5%. So if you send one round of mailers, you are not going to get anything from that. So again, any of the lead gen stuff, you need to like have a plan to continue it. And you should do everything for at least 12 months before you say like that's not working for sure. 6 months minimum, I guess, but like 12 months really gives you like a good view of it. And we'll go over a plan at the end, but really you should have a full lead gen plan and then execute on the whole plan for 12 months. And then you're going to see parts of the plan that don't work. You can switch those out. Parts of the plan will work really well in that area, and you keep riding those harder. So mailers in general, so I'm on Montera and area right now for me is my focus. So that mailing area is not huge. It only costs about $450 to print and send 5x7s to every single address. That's hitting a bunch of acreages plus all of Montera. So I have that going out every second month right now. I have a mailer going out. I'll show you guys what I have, what just went out right now in a minute. So it's every second month. And then in between the mailers going out, that's where you can focus on maybe doing either door knocking or some other letter drops, like mix it up so you're not just spending on mailers. But the mailer, again, the nice way to bring it home. So like if they see you doing other things online, other things in the community, then they get your mailer every 2 months, then they're in your head now. Like all this stuff is really just reminding them that you exist and that you're the best agent for them. Because when they need to buy a house, that's gonna be like, oh yeah, I gotta call that guy. Or I gotta call Tina. I've seen her face everywhere. She's gotta be selling like 50 homes a year, right? Like it's that presence in your community or in your area. That's what you want that focus on. So for mailers, I usually go QR code of some sort. Just be very direct with like where you want to send people. All right, so this is the one I just sent out to Montera, like a week ago. So I just sold 43 Montera Landing. It is the record for the area ever. So we're gonna make sure to tell everybody we did that. So new record sales price for Montera, just sold 43 Montera Landing. I'm calling us the Montera experts. And then here's all the houses we've sold in Montera. And then every 2 months, if we sold another house, I'm just adding it to the list. I'll make this list freaking huge. Like I want to get to the point where nobody else wants to call. Like we are the call every time because they know we've sold 18 houses, 20 houses, 25 houses, 30 houses. Like nobody else has sold more than 2 houses on Montera in the last like 5 years. So like this is what I want front and center now for people's mind. And now we just sold the record. I want that front and center too. So like, here's our sales. Think about selling your home. Trust a team that sells more homes in Montreal than any other. Now, this is going, there's Cochrane Lake Road, there's a few other parts in the mailing area. So I may do some months where I kind of switch up the wording a little bit, but overall, I'm just focused on Montero with this. When they scan that QR code, it's gonna go to my link tree. And I have the nice part about the link tree is you can set it up. You can always just rotate your links. So right now at the top, actually, I'll show you this.
How far back are you going, Andrew? Like a year, 2 years, or just total sales in general since you
That's
started?
all
Or-
the sales I've sold in the last 4 years in Montero. But yeah, depending on like what you're trying to focus on, it may be. You might not be pulling like all your sales ever or anything, but in this case, I want everything in Montero. So I have put the listing guide at top right now, and I put our luxury marketing video second right now because of that mailer. And then in 2 months, when the next one goes out, if I'm focused on something else, I might swap stuff around. But the nice part about Linktree is like you can just keep change what you want, and you don't have to change that QR code. And the nice part now on Linktree is that you can put the branding in your QR code as well. So that's why I like that nice BRIX QR code there. And then, I put just sold new record price right there. So that one I'll probably switch out in a few months because it's like, okay, we got it. New record, great. That was months ago. But those top two, while focusing on the luxury stuff, that's probably key. So I made a luxury video playlist on our YouTube channel. So if any of you are focusing on luxury listings, feel free to just link to that playlist. It's just got all of our like high-end stuff in it. And then the listing guide, I use Flipbook. Yeah, Flip HTML5 is the site, but and you can throw like documents on here and it does the whole flip thing. Oh, if people look at it, they got a nice display, look at, you can see what we got. Help start building that trust. If you're using Linktree too, I recommend promoting your listings on there. People will click, see what you got, and add like out park homes. I paid for the pro, it's not very much at all. And the pro is nice because you can have as many videos as you want like this, it just play right in your Linktree. And that Flipbook program, I use the pro as well, because otherwise you gotta have like watermarks and stuff on there, which really want, but between like Canva and like Flipbook and like all these other things I'm paying pro, like I'm still only spending like maybe $100 a month the most with all the programs I have. Adobe, it's just worth it. Like make your lives easier when you can. Letters. Some of the people know these letters pretty well. This template is in school in the lead gen stuff. This works really well if you have a buyer for an area. Now, your buyer doesn't need to buy said house if someone texts you or call you, but it gets you in the door. I recommend only doing this when you actually have a buyer you can bring in, because otherwise you're kind of just lying and some people will get annoyed with that. But you could, if you have a buyer for an area, write these letters, drop them off, mail them, whatever you need to do. But this gets people thinking like, oh yeah, like you know what, it would be nice if this family wants to buy my house and I do want to move. I just don't want to deal with listing it right now. Maybe they've been dragging their feet on getting like cleaned up and tidied up. It's a nice way to double end deals. And nice way to find your buyer something. And if they don't like it, it's a good way to backdoor yourself into a listing. So I actually just sent a round of these out to Tuscany. Found like a dozen houses that might work for my clients. They look for a bungalow backing green space with vaulted ceilings. So I wrote a version of this up for my two clients. And I was just like, this is what we're looking for. We just missed out on the latest sale because we got beat out in multiples. So I want to bring them some other product in the same area. Keep them, they're pretty simple. And also we want to keep the action simple on these. So just text me at my number. Done. Super simple.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And this might be a really stupid question, but let's say somebody has a place that that they're thinking of selling that's not on the market. Do you just like write an offer or how does that process work without another real estate agent on the other side?
So if you're gonna represent both sides, there's a representing buyer and seller form actually. So you do all the seller paperwork, all the buyer paperwork, like you've just done with your clients, and then you just fill that last form, which
Okay.
is both of them sign and you sign saying they give you permission to run the whole deal.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the other way you can do it, if the seller wants to be unrepresented, that's fine too. And you just do the buyer side. You do a customer form with the seller as well. On the customer form, you can add the commission customer thing as well too, saying how much they are going to pay you. So you don't have to rep the seller. The best and easiest way is if you can rep both sides, because you just do all the paperwork and everything's done properly. You can like figure out the timing, but if they don't want to be represented, you can do the customer thing and you owe them the same due diligence as far as like showing them what market value and stuff is. So if they're unrepresented, just make sure you still show them like, hey, I think your house is probably worth this. This is why. Give them all the same information you would have given your buyer. They can look it over and say, yeah, I'm good with that price.
Okay. So I'm just kind of, yeah, if there's another question here. So somebody is wanting to possibly purchase their rental, like they're renting a place right now and they want to like ask their landlord if they could buy that place.
Yep.
It would be the same scenario, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. Ask the seller. I mean, look, the seller could be like, I don't need you. Like, I'm just gonna do a private sale. So then so be it. I've also done paperwork for private sales. I just charged $5,000, just writing up the contract for them. So you
Okay.
can work in a bunch of different ways, but yes, I would go to the seller, be like, hey, can we do this together and just try to do the whole deal? The nice part is you can, all this great double ending stuff and getting both sides of the commission. The nice part is we control the whole sales. You can control the commissions too, so that kind of helps with purchase price and line everything up. So you'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm getting 10 grand for the sell side. I'm gonna take, 15 total. And then there's another 5 or 7 grand to throw back to the pot. So I always recommend take at least a little bit extra when you're double ending because you are doing twice the work, trust me. Like try to take a little bit more, but if you need to cut some commission, you got lots to play with.
Sweet. Thank
For that scenario, Crystal, like both parties are still gonna want their own legal representation, so make sure you have that discussion.
Yeah, never let people use the same lawyer.
Don't let them use the same lawyer ever.
Don't let them use a
For
builder.
like even like on a new build, or like just make sure there's always two lawyers on on one transaction. Don't use the same lawyer ever.
In school, we have the buyer letters. We got door knocking templates too. Kind of give you something to start on. I recommend when you're doing door knockers, focus on something. So like if you just sold a house in the area, that's a really good thing to put on there. So that way you can go around, drop on people's doors. If they're there, you can have a discussion like, hey, just sold this, just want to let you guys know. If you have a big open house coming up, launch a new listing, that's a good time to go around. You can just write them up on 8.5 by 11 too, and just print them off, and so you don't have to do anything like super fancy. But if you are doing any of this print material, highly recommend using someone to help you design it. Allie at PTI is really good. It's usually about $100 to just get someone to design it. 75 to 100, depends how much time it takes. But really good resource. He's got all of our BRIX stuff. He's been doing stuff for us for years. He's the one that put together all the guides and folders and everything. So his email's in there. I recommend just getting stuff done up. Once you have templates you like, super easy to switch stuff out. He can give you the working files if you want to just do it on your own after that. But I recommend getting someone to design it for you so like it all flows well and looks good. If you're printing and doing mailers, PTI can do the whole thing. So that 450 I said for Montera area, that included printing and the mailing. Like it's a really good price. Like Sandy went and quoted Royal Oak and Rocky Ridge, which is 5,000 doors. They were gonna do it for like $2,000. Print and mail the 5,000 doors for $2,000. That's the great deal to hit that many people. That's a really big area to be hitting when you haven't sold a property. That's a lot of money to spend. But just to show you, like per door is actually a really good deal, and they will do print everything, get it to Canada Post, and get it off. I highly recommend doing that, because if not, Canada Post does require you to put everything in bundles separated by certain streets and stuff within the mailing area. It's actually a pain in the ass. I've done it before. So highly recommend just get it to PTI, tell them the mailing area, they'll tell you the price. Some neighborhoods have multiple mailing areas, so you can spend a little less. Like I think Joel's hitting half of Sunset. Crystal, he's probably hit the other half Sunset. Probably a good idea to split that up. So the big areas, if you can find a buddy to split up with, then that'll help too. But I do highly recommend just let them do the whole thing, and then it's out, and you know it's good, and you didn't mess anything up. All right, community, all of this stuff kind of comes back to this. Like you need presence in the community you're farming. You don't have to farm your own community. I just recommend that usually because it's easier for people because you know it. You can be like, oh yeah, that park's really great for the younger kids. We have this park for the older kids. This school's here, that's there. They do food truck parties every second week here. Like you know your area, but you don't need to farm it. If you're in an area, you're like, screw this, the price point sucks here. I'm just gonna go farm 2 neighborhoods over where it's $1 million plus. Then do it. Just like focus your time there though. So going to community events, hosting things when you can, going to all the information sessions. If you got a new development coming, like be there. Like I go to all the Cochrane community ones when they're like presenting the new developments, all that stuff. Like be present so that people see you and you can talk to people all the time. Try to stick to your open houses in the area you're farming too. So whether it's ours or real broker agents that are in the area, try to like stay present in your area as much as you can, because the same people will come through open houses and they see you all the time, and that just keeps reaffirming that you're the agent to talk to. Volunteer and give back. So go to things that you can volunteer at within your community. And then use your social media to promote your community and promote the other businesses in there. So business interviews are amazing. Like some communities, you might have a little commercial section. You could literally go film everybody in one day and then bleed those videos over a couple months. But promoting the businesses in your community will get you more business way faster than anything else. Like if you do a good interview for a business owner, give them a couple thousand views, get them some business, they will call you or they will tell other people to call you. So off those business interviews I've done, I've probably closed like 15 to 20 deals in the last 7 years. Just from talking to people and putting their interviews up on Instagram and YouTube. Like, and those interviews take us what? Even like the pet store, Eric and I were hung out for a while. We were only there for 45 minutes. But like we can be in and out in 30 less if we needed to. At this point, we got it down. We got the mics, got the we got your phones ready to go. Set it up. Prep the business owner ahead of time. Give them like 3 questions they want to ask them, and that'll save your time. But it's a really nice touch. Take some B-roll around the store, and then edit that all together, and you're golden. Like people love that stuff. So super easy way to be present in community. Any feedback on this as far as what else to get involved in?
I got a quick comment here, Andrew. Do a little bit of research on the community you're going to be farming or working, whatever. Because if you're going to go into somewhere like Varsity Estates where there's 2 sales a year, you don't want to farm in there, right? So make sure there's a bit of turnover. Check who the lead agent is, or quote unquote, controlling that property or that area. That's who you're going to be up against. So just be careful. There's some pretty strong people out there that work communities too. So just know what you're getting into. And then do a bit of research on the community itself, like their history, etc.
Want to pull? That's a good segue here. Yeah, that's why I say you don't have to farm your community. Like if you live somewhere with not many sales, then because you got to break it down to percentage. So like if you're like, can I get 10% of the market share? If 10% of the market share is not enough to pay you enough money, then yeah, go to a different community. But if we go, know how many it is. So there's 93 sales in Sunset last year. So it's 10%, 9 to 10 deals. Not bad. Get probably gonna be like 150 grand really, because you got a lot of 800 pluses in Sunset these days. So 150 grand just for a neighborhood. If you got 10%. Now I think you can get 10, 20, and I think if 2 of you crush it together, you could kind of gain 30 in the next 18 months, easy. So then you got 30, 35 sales between 2 of you just in one neighborhood, you're laughing. Because a spillover business alone, that's 50 deals, if not more.
Yeah, especially sorry, if you're looking at following the terminateds and the canceled and all of that, you go after those. That's going to help you too, especially if you're a star in that market for sure.
People are gonna leave Sunset, go buy something else. They're gonna buy a Montero. We got lots of people are gonna buy on acreages. They're gonna buy some big honking house in the city. Like, there's your double end. They're doing sell buys. Once you start doing sell buys out of your neighborhood, all of a sudden you're 300 grand one neighborhood. So as long as you have a decent chunk to go after, like 93 is good. Sunset's pretty big. If you got like 30 or less, then increase your area. Because there's just not enough to capture there. Because like realistically, 10 to 20% is what you capture, right? Now, I've seen more, but that's going to depend on the other realtors working in the area, them really slipping, or people moving away, or going to different areas, or retiring. So that's where, like Bill said, get to know who's operating in the area and maybe where they're at in their career too is actually really key. Because we have a team in Cochrane that is starting to slide now because the person who's been the head of it for over a decade is retiring. Changed the name, sold the team, and their market shares are already plummeting. And that's where we can start swooping in and start grabbing that. So like know what's going on, but we got to pick away at the people that are leaving market share behind.
And Sunset was typically a very strong community for that person too.
Yep. I mean, so at one point, Kendra Watt had 35% market share of all Cochrane.
Yeah.
And when I was on Green Group, we had 30. So between the 2 teams, and 65% of all sales ran through our 2 teams. At the time, we were averaging 650 sales a year in Cochrane. Now it's higher. So, like, just to say, like, you can grab a lot of market share if you do it right. And then Green Group, those two packed up, moved to the city and start focusing on Cochrane, which is stupid because they're about to take over. We probably could have had 50% market share the following year. And then Kendrick kept taking along, probably got up to 40%. And now they're probably back down to like 15 or 20. And they're slipping fast. So it ebbs and flows a lot faster than people think. And like a lot of those realtors, like I said, are not, they lose their focus or they don't double down. Like if you have like 30% of a place like Cochrane, you should be reinvesting like 50% every single dollar back into the same thing. Community events, community ads, signs, bus benches, like that's where you double down. And then you go to like 50 or 60, and then you're like doing 350 sales a year on one team in one city. You're laughing. But you got to double down when it's right. And that's where bus benches and that kind of stuff come, is when you need to keep increasing presence, but you've been doing everything else. Like some of these agents in Cochrane grabbing one bus bench is just a waste of $700 a month or $350 a month. Like it's just a waste of money. Like that should be part of a plan. So come to action plan. First and foremost, social media presence is your easiest thing to do. It is free. And well, maybe pay for some edits, but like it's basically free. Just do it. Like post up every day, post static posts, post video. I mean, I have the stats. Some of our carousel posts will get like 4,000 views now, better than some of our reels. So it's not like you have to shoot constant video, but like be present so that people can find you. I would run some ads. I would target, you can start with, like Joel said, 200, 300, but 300 to 500 a month you can start with. Play with some stuff there. You can boost videos on YouTube from like our BRIX page too. So if you want more content, you just have to input that when you're setting up the ad and we'll pull that video. So lots of ways you can go about your ad spend, and you don't need to spend a ton. But get something out there to increase your presence again, and then keep our social media, because once your social media stuff's high enough, like those ads aren't really as important because now people are just gonna see you anyway. Set up community mailers. I'm putting this out to all of you guys. Honestly, whatever your target area is, I would get email PTI, ask them what the mailing area is and how much it is to print 5x7s and send them to every house, and then budget that for the year. So every second month is a good way to go. That way, like in my area, it's like $450 plus tax to send them out. So now I'm spending like $225 a month for the year. So I'm gonna budget $225 a month on the mailers. I'm gonna budget another like 100 a month on letters and other stuff I might have to print. And then I always go to community events in Montara. I've been for a few years. I keep going to the events, keep the social media stuff going, get a few more listings, and then we'll keep building on it. So like if you guys all do that in your area, we could really take over. For the Cochrane people here, I'm booking us a meeting for next week, but like I really want to make sure everybody's gonna plan for their neighborhood in Cochrane, because like I said, the time is now. And I have 2 more agents from Cochrane probably joining the team, and I'm going after another big one right now. So I think we can, basically just each hit our communities and then really focus on make sure we're present at some of these bigger events. And then we can start sponsoring stuff again too. Right? That'll be our double down. But like if we can get a good presence through the winter to next spring, then we can all chip in together and sponsor the rodeo next year, because it's going to be worth it. But we got to get back to the point where it's worth it again, because I don't want to spend 10 grand for no reason. But if we're like picking up market share and everybody's seeing us and the mailers are going out and we're in the community and all this stuff, then we drop 10 or 12 grand on a big event, then it just really helps reinforce that. So let's build that up first, and then we go. And then like, Tina, are you in Tuscany? Yeah, that's a good neighborhood. I like that neighborhood. So again, same day for you. That's a big mailing area. So I'd maybe partner up, and we have like 4 or 5 new people coming to the team. So we'll have some more people in the Northwest too. But that's a good one to maybe partner up on. Tons of sales in there, and like everything's mostly 850 and up, and a lot of million plusers. So you can focus on luxury in there too. You can focus on older demographic or the families. Like there's totally different routes you could go in there. But all that stuff on the ridge is like 1.5 and up now. So there's some good stuff. Try to find 4 to 6 events you're gonna go to every year. That's kind of your minimum. Now, sometimes they don't have to be big events. Like we have the party in the park every month in Heartland. I would just be there, buy food, talk to all my neighbors. Sometimes wear a BRIX hat, whatever. Be out there with the kids. Like, doesn't have to be an event, but like just be present. Like, oh, food truck day. So, and each community in Cochrane pretty much has one every month. So, like food truck day, go out, I'm gonna buy some food. I'm gonna talk to the food truck guys. Like one of them, the guys that run the taco truck in Cochrane are my clients. So that was usually throwing me some free tacos, and we chat, and I chat with a few team people. Like just be out there, present. Everybody knows you. You're not a secret agent, and you can keep building your presence there. Be consistent. You can get your 10 to 20x spent. I promise you will. Just give it 12 to 18 months. Don't come back to me in 3 months, be like, not working. Just give it time. I guarantee you, if you work the leads, you do all the things I had in here, you will pay yourself back 20 times over. And if you gotta run some stuff in the credit card, like that's the name of this game. Like you gotta borrow sometimes, but if you spend in the right places, you'll get it back. So don't go crazy. Like I said, don't go sponsoring $20,000 events tomorrow. Build it up. Start with mailer, start with community presence, social media, and anything you do, maybe a little bit ad spend, and like build it up. Close some deals, okay, funnel half that money back in.
Just one quick note too there, Andrew. Don't forget that in your current deals that you're doing, that your next deal could be built right into that one. Like ask the people you're dealing with, if your buyers, your sellers, especially when they're at that euphoric moment. Oh my God, I got the keys. Just say, keep me in mind. Hey, do you know? And 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I've got a sister, or I've got someone that I know that needs a realtor. And I mean, it happens all the time. And I've gone 5 deep with some of these people, like referral after referral after referral. And it's really sweet.
Yep. If you need some reminders or you want on it, if you go back, if you go into the trainings, I did a training on like, turning